Hello there. Welcome to Sangan is now in prison. No, wait, I think it's called Sangan's Forbidden World. Let's bring you over to the jail cell. This is where you guys start off your adventures. So what we're doing is a choose your own adventure. You guys have to get Sangan out of the Forbidden World as he was mistakenly arrested. However, I did not have nearly enough time to set up everything I needed, but you guys won't notice. So, let's get started. First up, to get you guys into the mood for this, you guys are currently stuck in a jail cell. I have is there a harem ending possible? Sure, why not? You guys are currently stuck in a jail cell. You have a couple of options that you can do. Here, I'll create a poll. What will you do? All right. You guys decide to go talk to the lady in black at the end of the jail cell. Okay. So, you guys go over and talk to her. Since this is chat, I'm assuming you guys would say, hey, hey, hi, can I lick your feet? And she'd be just like, what? You know, because I assumed you guys can't talk to women. And she's like, ugh, you gross creature. And then she spits on you. You guys seem very excited about that. You have +1 to morale. Let's go on to the next one. So, what should you do next? So now you're gonna come over here and you're gonna talk to the guard and be like, hey, you, there's a woman in here. What do you want? What should he do? Shadow duel, really? You guys have decided to challenge the guard to a shadow duel. The guard looks at you and says, a shadow duel. Okay. Let's do this, and if you lose, you never talk to me ever again. For the duel, all you're using is a garbage Sangan Burning Abyss deck. Let's see how well you guys did. It looks like the guard is playing Makura FTK. I'm sure the guard of the Forbidden Realm probably has some forbidden cards in his deck. I mean, you guys are in the Forbidden World. You have to be aware that the people you go against are going to be using a lot of forbidden cards. I don't think Sangan's even going to get a turn to do anything. Yeah. Nope, he's decked out. He lost. Alright. You've dueled the guard and lost. He's like, well, I lost the shadow duel. Okay, just then, at the end of your guys' duel, a crash happens. Something crazy's happening. You hear them talking about, oh no, the arch nemesis Protoss has broken in. It seems the walls are broken while the guards are dealing with something else. The lady in black has already taken off. What do you guys do next? You guys lost the duel very embarrassingly, but that's fine. Are we using OCG or the TCG Forbidden World? Currently, you guys are in the TCG Forbidden World. Try joining Arch Nemesis. Alright. You guys see Arch Nemesis blasting stuff around, and you walk up to him and shout very confidently, hey, I can help you. And the dragon looks in your direction and then goes about just wreaking havoc and destroying stuff. You probably think it's in your best interest to not stick around very long, otherwise you're going to get hurt. So you take off. So, you run away. He doesn't seem to be in a joining mood right now. He seems to be pissed off that he was banned. So you run off into the Forbidden Realm. Oh, I should probably zoom you out a little bit. You go around. You're not really sure what you see. You do see a cave that you can go into, that you can hide in for safety. But after waiting around for a bit, you decide to just explore some more. So you go off into the distance, and you hear some noises coming from behind a large rock. You get curious and you slightly investigate, only to find 3 very large dragons talking amongst themselves. One of them turns towards you and notices your presence. What will you do next, Sangan? Let me put up the poll real quick. Seduce? Yeah, of course you guys would say that. Where the heck is Torrent? He's right here. Tempest isn't here. Tempest isn't forbidden. Of course he wouldn't be there. Alright, you guys have decided on show the dragon your feet. So you go up to the dragons, who are curiously looking at you because you interrupted their discussion. You plop down on your back and you start showing them your feet and you wiggle. They all look very confused. One of them seems interested. He's like, hey guys, I think we can use this. So they all converge together and they start talking amongst themselves. And then eventually they come back to you. Redog's getting a little bit closer than the others. And they say, so, you seem new here. You also seem very, what's the word for it? Adventurous? Excited? Hey, how would you like to help us out? You see, there's this goody two-shoes who lives right across the bridge on the other side. We call him Old Man Norden. Would you like to go and talk to him so we can play a little prank on him? Just a small little prank. What we need you to do is convince him to go into the middle of the bridge, and then we'll go over there and beat him up. But it's just for a prank, so it's not super serious. You think you can do that for us? You know, as a prank? Well, Sangan, you ask the dragons if you get paid. Yeah, they all look to you, and Redox comes over and he'll whisper something into your ear. He's like, yes, I'll pay you in as many licks as you want. And he comes back, and the other one's like, what did you offer him? He's like, oh, nothing. You guys seem very, interested in this offer. So, let's go over to Norden. They give you directions to Norden's camp. You find it very easily, because it's literally just like right across the street. You go up to Norden and say, hey, Old Man Norden. And he says, you're new. He's like, yeah, I just got here. And then you point to your feet and he looks down. He's like, what? He's like, anyways, so I have something to tell you. And Norden, he's like, well, I have something to tell you. You're not supposed to be here. Which means you were probably brought here by mistake because those guards are incompetent. He's like, look, I can help you. There's a cave for people like you. You can go over and talk to the person who's been here the longest. He might be able to help you out. But be careful. It's very difficult getting to the inner chamber to talk to him. Especially since he keeps it well guarded to keep out some of the riffraff. You probably ran into some of them if you've come this far already. So, after hearing some advice, what will you do next? Tell him about NordVPN? You just start, you make some small talk while you think. You tell him about NordVPN and their excellent services. And he's like, didn't they have a breach a couple years ago? Sangan decides to ignore that. Sangan asks if you'd like some feet pics. Norden doesn't seem very interested. He kindly, yet firmly, tells you no. Okay, well, you guys have decided to not warn him, nor convince him to go to the bridge and just head over to the cave. So, you just kind of head on over to the cave. So, you go over to the cave, and you decide to just walk on in. You don't really care too much about what's going on between Norden and the dragons. So you just head on into the cave. And after walking for a bit, you run into something. You do see a couple of dead bodies, but they're unrecognizable. Some of them have been turned into goo. You do also see some slight hints of plant and fauna. And then eventually, oh no! You've ran into danger. There seems to be someone blocking your path. It is the Samsara Lotus. You need to go through him, but he seems dangerous and angry. What are you guys gonna do next? Buy its Patreon? You attempt to ask the Samsara Lotus if it has a Patreon. It shakes its head and then shows you its OnlyFans account. You memorize the name of it for later research. Subscribe to the DuelLogs. You tell Samsara Lotus about your favorite YouTube channel, the DuelLogs. Samsara Lotus has like a face of disgust on her face. How will you guys get past the Samsara Lotus? Seduce the Lotus? Alright. Okay. This is so we can get the dice rolls so that you guys can actually see the results of your seduction. Okay, you attempt to seduce the Lotus. What exactly do you say to the Lotus as a seduction technique? You want to go stargazing tonight? Okay. You tell the petal, hey, do you want to go stargazing tonight? Samsara Lotus seems somewhat interested. That's a good pickup line. We'll give it a 45% chance to succeed, which means we're going to roll a 3-100, and if the roll is 45 or less, that means 1 to 45, then it succeeds. You do have to remember that you have a disadvantage because you're ugly. Oh, that's a success. So you go up to the Lotus and you say, hey baby, do you want to go stargazing tonight? The Lotus seems interested. You said it in just the right intonation. You said it with such good zeal that at first Samsara Lotus was like, no, I'm not into this. But, you know, hey, why not? I got nothing better to do today. They both go outside for a bit and they go stargazing. You guys go near Norden's camp. You go stargazing for a little bit. You have a nice talk. You guys talk about your jobs. You talk about how unfair it is that you're down here. Samsara Lotus is like, yeah, I get ya. And then after a nice evening, you quietly excuse yourself to go use the restroom, and then you run back into the cave, ditching Samsara Lotus out of the field. As you advance further into the field, you run past where Samsara Lotus is at, and you come across a pool of water. Like, you've had a long day. You were supposed to go on a tour today, but that got ruined, and then you got wrongly arrested, and you also got, put in prison, and you got interrogated, and you got beaten in a duel by the guard, and then a big old dragon, or a worm, excuse me, busted in. So, you've had a long day. You also got threatened by some dragons, and you just see the nice, clear, refreshing pool of water. You go up to it, and you look at it, and you can see right through it. There is no impurities in this at all. And you also seem very thirsty. So, a simple option. Do you drink from it? You drink from the water. All right. You go in the water and you start gobbling up. It is delicious and you feel refreshed and you have no adverse effects. You might even come back to pee in it later, who knows? And then you just continue on. After exploring a little bit further, you come into a room which is oddly no longer a cave. It seems like this has obviously had some construction work done to it. And you notice 4 pillars in the middle of the room. And you have to, you also look into the sky. So you come into a room, there's 4 pillars, and you look in the sky, and there's 4 holes in the sky. And you also notice that there are some levers next to these 4 pillars. And you also know that these pillars are actually platforms that you can use in order to get all the way into the holes in the ceiling. And you know this because you are psychic. However, you also see a burnt corpse in front of one of the pillars. You don't know who this is, but it does give you a little bit of trepidation. Remember, because you are psychic, you know you need to use one of these in order to get onto the next level. However, luckily for you, there is a little bit of a hint. You notice a passage on the wall as you walk over to it. And on the wall, there's a little passage that says, "Sorry for all the subterfuge. However, only wits will show the way from this point on. I am at the beginning of the end and at the end of before." That is your full hint. And then you go around and you look at the room. And let's give you a bird's eye view of everything so that you can better see this. You also notice all of the pillars are marked with vowels. A, E, I, and O. So, which pillar do you pick? Remember, if you pick the wrong one, you might die. So, which one do you guys pick? If we die, we don't get reincarnated because of Sangan's effect? I'm not gonna comment on that. 4-0 because it's close to 420. E is half of feet. I don't know why you guys are so obsessed with feet. Sangan will call the tour guide. Well, that's how he got in this mess in the first place. Use effect veiler? Sorry, but you can't use card effects outside of a shadow duel. So, you go down over to E in order to lower the platform for you so that you can get into the next level. And you pull the lever. You've succeeded. The lever comes down gently and nothing bad happens. And you safely get on and then ascend into the next room. Because Sangan is smart. Sangan realized that the last letter in the word before and the first letter of the word end is E. Congratulations, everybody. Okay, you ascend to the next level. When you go to the next level, however, it takes you up to the top, and then immediately what you see are 3 golems, each one with their hands outstretched with a unique gem in it, as well as a long hallway that seems to continue forward. You look at this golem with the gem in its hand, and for some reason, you really want it. You want to steal it. So, what will you do next? Unfortunately, there's a part of you that would not want to steal it. You think, hey, this place has been trapped previously. Maybe I shouldn't take this gem, but no, you're gonna do it. You want to do it. You feel as if there's a magical force inside of you, coming from your stomach and bladder, that's compelling you to take this gem. Maybe you drank something bad earlier that's controlling your mind. You do try to fight it, but you're not fighting that hard. You guys have voted to take it now. You go up to the golem and you pry the gem from it. The golem doesn't like that. They all immediately start running after you. They also hit you a couple of times. You're now injured. These things don't abide by the rules of Shadow Realms for some reason. You start running away. You run down the hallway as the golems are chasing after you. You don't have any time to think. And then as you run down the cave, come to this little segment over here, you come to a dead end. At the end of this cave is just a wall and nothing else. And you have 3 pissed off golems who are running after you, but really slowly because you're a lot faster than that. Luckily for you, once you reach the end of the wall, something appears. Let's show you what you see. You see a little orb with an illusionary bird inside of it, and he has something to say to you. He tells you in his little bird voice, "Most of what you will see here is not as though it might appear. The more you leave behind, the more you take." And then it disappears. So, you have some golems coming after you. You have a wall in front of you. You have a bird who gave you a message. What do you guys want to do next? All right. You've decided to run headfirst into the wall. You run up to the wall, and you decide to run headfirst into it. And once you get close to the wall, you run into it and you bounce off of it. However, you bounce off of something that seems very hollow, as the illusion covering the door disappears. So, Sangan simply walks up to the door and opens it. And goes inside because it's not locked. And then you close it behind you and the golems seem to stop right outside the door. They don't go in. You enter a room and you find the bird, the one you were told about by Norden, the Yatagarasu. He turns towards you. He says, "Ah, welcome. I haven't seen you in forever. Do you remember me, Sangan? We used to work together." And Sangan says, "Yeah, sure. I totally remember you. We went to high school, right?" He's like, "No, we were part of the very first Tier 0 deck of all time." He says, Yeah. We went on a field trip, right?" He's like, "Okay, so you don't remember, whatever." "It's because I got an errata, that's why I don't remember." He's like, "It's not important. You managed to find your way in here. There is a way to get outside, but it's only for people who are very powerful, so that's why we're all stuck here. However, you received an errata, which is how you were able to leave in the first place. There is a way to forcibly leave, but that's only if you're able to break the time seal. So far, no one has been able to break it. But maybe someone who's not supposed to be here can pull it off. I can help you out. I can take you into the final study. He's upstairs. All you have to do is duel the time seal and you'll be free." And Sangan says, "All right, I can do it." And Yatagarasu says, "Excellent. So, did you manage to gather powerful cards in order to bolster your deck for this?" Sangan looks confused. He's like, "Ah, damn it. Well, good luck." All right. You guys head over to the final duel against the time seal. You head over to the final duel with this. Normally, you would have the option to pick which deck you want to use. However, you guys completely skipped all of that. So what you guys only have is the Sangan deck. Let's see how well you did. Okay, so your opponent is playing a time seal deck. Time seal decks, as everybody knows, aren't super good. You have Graceful Charity, Knight Assailant, Pot of Greed, Breaker the Magical. He's playing a whole bunch of old cards, so you might actually stand a chance here with your Sangan B8. Oh, Time Seal. You skipped your next draw phase, but that's fine because that card actually kind of sucks. Oh, he's gonna return your Dante, but you have Denko. Oh, and you have a Danger. You can special summon a monster from the deck. Tsuchinoko. Ooh, Burning Abyss. He sends a card to the grave. That's gonna let him search a card from the deck. You have Farf on the field. You have Borreload's Savage Dragon. Ooh, you're going to attack for a lot of damage. However, as you can see, your opponent has Snatch Steal in their hand, and you have no cards on the field. So they're going to attack for 3,000 damage, and you can't draw because of Time Seal skipping your draw phase. So it's his turn. He has a card which can attack twice. He flips up Mask. He's going to set another Time Steal. He attacks with Mask, and then he attacks with Borreload Savage Dragon, and attacks again. Unfortunately, you lose the final duel. And then you get dragged into the Time Seal, forever stuck in the Forbidden Realm.